New patents, new games, and new, better controllers. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. A rare weekend edition, but we got to keep the train rolling because the Nintendo Direct is coming Tuesday. The updated inside info is that it's dropping Tuesday morning, which means bright and early for me, but I got you. We're going to party and stream and make it an awesome time. That is now just 2.5 to 3 days away, depending on when you're watching this video. But what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hit that like button if you enjoy these videos. It helps me keep doing this every day for all of you, and we're going to get started off right away with this new Nintendo patent. Now, one of the biggest things I think can improve with the Switch 2 is the UI. That goes for the online, that goes for the home screen, that goes for navigating the console in general. I feel like the Switch is decent, but it does feel like it's antiquated, and many of its systems feel like they are at their most basic level. This new patent that we see showcases a new way to display games on the home screen, where instead of just showing a square icon, Nintendo would instead show a gallery of photos from your recent play sessions. So this is a screenshot feature that captures both manual and autosave data screenshots to showcase where you're at in the game. And I think this is a nice little flourish that they could apply to the Switch 2 and would be pretty darn nifty, where instead of just seeing, the icon for Mario 3D 4K, you would get to see, oh, there's the last star I grabbed. Oh, there's the last boss I fought. And it would remind you where you're at, help sort of keep your progress in the forefront of your conscience, and also provide a unique way to display the game that was different for everybody. They could still show the main icon and then allow you to slide over to these screenshots, and that's what the patent seems to imply. Now, patents like this do show up from time to time, but the big issue is that most of them do not actually become actualized. But this definitely could indicate a direction that Nintendo is going or planning to go in terms of how they plan to modify their UI. I think something as simple as themes would make the Switch home screen way better, but if they're able to modernize the home screen or even take some risks with the home screen, a la, screenshots to delineate your progress and showcase the games in a more exciting and personalized fashion, I'm all for it. I do hope Nintendo utilizes the Switch 2 opportunity, if it is going to be a console that is mostly iterative, to actually iterate. Not just iterate on the power of the console, not just iterate on the Joy-Con, but iterate on the UI as well. It's one of the biggest areas that Nintendo could see a huge upsurge in improvement, and it's one of the biggest ways to distinguish your system from the next, especially if they look similar in form factor. But speaking of Joy-Cons, maybe some of you have heard of the Hall Effect Anti-Drift sticks. These are the golden standard for joysticks that allow zero drift. And Gillikit has been making these since 2017 for the Joy-Con, but now they plan to release new upgrade kits for the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. I feel like more and more people are having Pro Controller drift as time persists. Joy-Con drift is like a given at this point for pretty much every Joy-Con, but now they say that they have a new patented technology which is different from our current Hall Effect joystick, and it seems like it's going to go in not only a Nintendo Switch Pro Controller, but also a Sony DualSense, DualShock 4, and Xbox Series controller to allow for everyone to experience the glory that is no drift, because I've even heard some people say their freaking PlayStation 5 controllers are susceptible. Pretty crazy that we're in this generation 2024. We can do brilliant graphics, amazing seamless gameplay, no loads, and yet we're still stuck with sticks that drift. I supremely hope that Nintendo does fix this next time around. I talk a lot about UI, I talk a lot about themes and eShop, but yeah, fix the freaking controllers. We need that maybe more than anything. The controller should work out of the box. My cat is hitting the microphone. He wants to be a part of this too. His joysticks don't drift, but that's because he's a cat. Anyhow, these Gillikit controllers should be available later this year. If you're looking to upgrade or fix your Pro Controller, that is a very nice option. Let's talk about juicy new games, because there was yet again another new showcase, this time from a very dedicated Switch developer, Yacht Club Games. And I believe everything we saw at this showcase is going to be on or already on Switch, which is awesome. And they debuted new trailers and new teases for the evolution of Yacht Club franchises and Shovel Knight himself. There's some free DLC coming for Shovel Knight Dig and Pocket Dungeon, but most importantly, we got an incredible new spooky look at Mina the Hollower. They had a very sort of Nickelodeon era live presentation of how spooky this game is, but the gameplay itself looked so bomb, absolutely amazing. Mina the Hollower is basically Shovel Knight, but Game Boy Zelda. It's like a 2D Zelda with more creativity, more chaos, and modern graphical effects. I think the game looks perfect, which I rarely say, but I really do think this is like a perfect looking release. It looks complicated, yet simplistic, colorful, diverse. The combat looks exciting, lots of weapons and upgrades and bosses and puzzles and mine carts and all sorts of things under a spooky flair with still a cute aesthetic because you're a freaking mouse or a rat, can't quite tell. But the biggest thing here is it's still coming soon. They say they're still hard at work on the game, no release date, no release window, nothing. And I wonder if Mina the Hollower is destined for a future Nintendo Direct. Could Mina the Hollower get a stealth drop at a Nintendo Direct with this coming soon title? More than likely, it's just Yacht Club wants to finish the game. They want to work on it as they need to, and they don't want to commit yet. But I do think there's a chance that Nintendo could swoop this up because it does seem like the perfect game to stealth drop. You know, it's got those sort of Game Boy Zelda ties. It's got Nintendo ties with Shovel Knight being very prominent on the platform and being a part of Smash Brothers. I could easily see Mina the Hollower being a stealth drop. Maybe it's even a stealth drop at the upcoming Direct. Probably not, but maybe. And I think this game is just one of the most exciting anticipated indies out there. It looks, like I said, perfect. Let me know if you're excited about Mina the Hollower because this is one of my most anticipated games. It just looks like a joy to play and the perfect portable treat. Now, Shovel Knight is getting a 10th anniversary special edition. It's going to be the Shovel of Hope DX, which is the ultimate, basically perfect edition of Shovel Knight with all sorts of content, online and local multiplayer, 20 plus different characters to play as, all sorts of cheats, mods, DLC, basically everything. They said they wanted the ultimate version of Shovel Knight to be able to be preserved forever with all of the codes, all of the extras, all of the everything, and that's what this basically is, Shovel Knight everything. No set release date, but they did say that it is coming soon. I'm guessing that means sometime this year. Again, not really sure why they don't have a set release date, but maybe they're operating on it's done when it's done, and we know that, you know, a lot of indie companies do take that route, and in many cases it is a smart route. Why promise something that you're not positive on? Disappoint and delay is not a good path, and you don't want to also pressure your devs into getting something rushed out that maybe isn't quite ready. I don't find Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope DX that exciting because we've already played through Shovel Knight and the Treasure Trove and many other iterations on Nintendo platforms, but they did tease the next generation of Shovel Knight. And for this, they said Shovel Knight will enter a new dimension, which is clearly teasing a 3D Shovel Knight. And they talked about how this is not just a sequel, but a big evolution for the character and for the company. And to me, that's like, yeah, they're going to dive into 3D. Now, the interesting thing here is that Yacht Club Games has succeeded on their amazing homage to nostalgia. They've created these games that pay tribute to Mega Man and Zelda and these games that we came to know and love in our past, and they redid them in new modern ways and made them feel awesome again. What happens when you take that and make it 3D and make it modern? Are they attempting to go for a PlayStation 1 or an N64 nostalgic feel? Are they trying to basically go for Mario and Astro Bot and deliver a 3D platformer? I'm so curious to see what they do with this new iteration of Shovel Knight. No release date, no footage, not even a logo. It probably won't be out for at least a year or two, but it's going to be very curious to see how this cookie crumbles. It reminds me similarly of how SteamWorld is eventually going to do this shooter SteamWorld game, and it doesn't seem like it's SteamWorld Heist 2, that's kind of taking the interim slot, but that they've got this more advanced 3D game, their first 3D game, and I do wonder how these studios that have built their reputation and their fan love on nostalgia, on pixel art, on games that are bringing back the past and making it more modern and appealing, how will they fare when they do transition into a more just modern feel? Will they lose their luster, or will they be able to maintain their speciality even as they transition from dimension to dimension? Let me know what you think of Mina, Shovel Knight DX, and this new 3D Shovel Knight tease, and which one you're most excited for. For me, it's absolutely Mina. But in the meantime, I'm so pumped for the Direct. Stay tuned for more predictions and thoughts as the weekend progresses, and it looks like we are going to be hitting up the Nintendo Siren on Tuesday morning, June 18th. Can't wait to see you there. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you all lots. SwitchForce out.